Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Shade Tree Vintage Auto and DD Auto and Salvage here in Logan, Utah. And today I'm here with Alun and we're gonna clean out the Super B. I'm gonna go to my storage stash and see what kind of cool parts I can find. So as you can see, it's pretty messy in here. I did pull the back seat up hoping to find a build sheet and I haven't. Hopefully there's one underneath the carpet or behind the glove box, but a lot of LA built cars didn't have fender tags, so which is unfortunate. I was gonna try to fix the headliner with safety pins, and I still may, but it's pretty ratty in the back. The front's pretty bad too, but we might can fix it with some safety pins.
You get them.
So we've got the carpet most of the way pulled out. Now we're gonna take it out to the house and we'll pull the seats and everything, pull the rest of the way out, vacuum it, get it all cleaned up. But first, after we get it loaded up, like I said, I think we're gonna go to the storage container. So we're loaded and strapped down, and now we're gonna head over to my secret little storage location and see what kind of goodies that I've been saving for something are gonna go with this. So we're in the first unit, and I know a lot of people don't believe me when I say I've got at least 40 440s, but here's a couple, just a few, a lot of stuff. This is something that if I do the 440 and 4-speed swap, I may use this Dana. And really quick, while I'm just looking at it, one way you can tell a real car Dana versus a truck Dana that's been converted is that the car Danas have a place to put a pinion snubber. So this is a real car Dana. It's coded actually for like an A12 car, or the correct date code. That doesn't mean that's what it came with, but it's got 410 gears, I believe, and I really want 354s if I do it, so I'll have to rebuild it. But let's look. There's a couple go-wings back there.
It doesn't look like
there's disc brakes. I may use one of those sets of disc brakes for it. And let's see what else we've got. I have a whole bunch of gold Moroso and Mylodon stuff. So if I do the 440, I'll probably use like the gold Moroso valve cover. I've got brand new, still in the box, NOS, big block valve covers, and a bunch of cool Mylodon gold stuff, including an oil pan. So that would go in it. This stuff's gonna go in it. This is stuff I bought for another project and never used. A bunch of QA1 and PST stuff. So I basically have everything to do the whole complete front end, all brand new. So that's gonna happen. And then, as I've said many times, some of my favorite things for the 70 cars is the Go-Wing, which that's a Go-Wing, an original one. I think we're gonna take that and put it on.
That doesn't look the actual Go-Wing. Is it?
That one's a real Go-Wing. No, the B-body and A-body ones are the same. But what it is in 1970, they had the Go-Wing, which angles down. And in 1971, let's see, I may have said that. So 1970, they were like this. 1971, they were the Gull-Wing, which swooped back. And I don't have one of those here. I just have 3 Go-Wings here.
So this is the one that would go on my car?
Nope, that one's probably gonna go on my Super B.
But no, like
but yeah, that's gonna go on your, one like that's gonna go on your Dart. And then I've got a couple tough wheels here. I've already got an adapter for the car. So this tough wheel is actually pretty decent. It's a little bit, it moves a little, and supposedly you can take like a syringe and put silicone or something in there. But one thing I've got to grab is the right cap, because 70 and 71 had this style cap with the chrome, and they went back to that in later years. You're in the light, buddy. And then most of them are like this. So I need this one for the Super B. So that's going to go with it. Oh, here's a tough wheel can right here. So this is the tough wheel can. Correct one.
Is this 70?
No, I only have 170. It's right there. So yeah, I guess I've just got to decide which one of these wings I'm going to use on this car. Then you can see like those are the seats. for the 69 Roadrunner, along with some other 69 Roadrunner parts I've been gathering up. And these seats are for the Roadrunner convertible that's being built right now. There's a bunch of random parts, some really cool ETX mags, almost NOS set of Krager SSTs. But anyway, so I'm gonna gather up a few things. Like I said, also, you guys kind of give me your input. Should I kind of just build the 383 that's in the car, like put new heads on it? There's some brand new rebuilt fresh ones. Or should I put the 440 in it? So let me know. Anyway, we're gonna gather up some parts and I will kind of show you what I found and go from there. So we're finally actually gonna be working on the Super B. Alun's been cleaning it out. Off camera, we started playing with the engine a little bit to see if we could figure out what was wrong with the engine. The reason it was running so bad has a bent valve, so I've got to replace the heads, and I already have a set. As you can see, we're just getting moved into our new shop, so there's lots of work going on that way. But this car, we're hoping to have the heads done and whatnot and have it down at MuscleCars at the Strip in March. The Max wagon will be down there at MuscleCars at the Strip. The Dart won't be, but we have another Dart that will. And then, well, there's 9 cars that we're taking. So hopefully you'll get to see this one down there. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Matt's. Anyway, well, let's hurry and look and see how bad it is inside. It's pretty bad. So there's a lot of garbage. Yuck. And hopefully we will find a build sheet somewhere, but being a Los Angeles built car, chances are probably not, because the Los Angeles cars usually didn't have one. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it has a fender tag and I love the car either way. Alun's making some good progress. Look at all that dust coming out. That's why I have him wearing masks and everything. But floors actually look pretty good in this car. I haven't made any progress on the engine other than I went and picked up some of the parts, have them laid out on a table. Seats are right there. Main thing I'm doing, I'm working on another video over here in this corner. Haven't started the video, just getting everything set up, so you'll be able to see that. That's about some cool race engine stuff, so be sure to check that video out. And if it's out before this video, then I'll put the link down below. So anyway, yeah, gonna keep on working. So Alun did a pretty good job of cleaning it all out, and I am really impressed that floor. Like I said, needs a little bit of work right over on the driver's side and some cleanup right here on the passenger side, but I don't think it's going to require hardly any welding or splicing or anything like that. Sure do love that pistol grip. And I just opened the hood and started looking at what I need to do, and I'm going to show you what I found and the reason I know it's a bent valve. So if you look, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but this valve right here will not move, and it's lower than the rest. Probably can't really look or see that way. And the push rod fell down inside. So, but we've tried hitting out the rubber mallet. These ones all move just fine. That one will not budge. We even tried prying on it a little bit and just decided, you know, it's a bent valve, so we need to do the heads. So I'm gonna pull the whole top end of the engine off. I may even do a camshaft since I've already got one. But know that this engine is not staying in this car. This engine's gonna go to Matt's and maybe drive around a little bit in the summer, but there's a really cool special surprise coming. If everything goes how we're talking, there's gonna be a really sweet 440 in here, and I'll tell you more once we get further down the line. As you can see, the seats are filthy. They definitely need reupholstered, but I'm just gonna clean them up for now. Seat belts are all faded blue, but yeah, it's really not bad. So, and you can see the pads, those are welded in from the factory on cars that had factory buckets, and which the build sheet already said it does. But yeah, I'm excited. Took some of the headliner out. There's still quite a bit of stuff that needs cleaned up. But yeah, so I'm gonna start getting to work. Got some of the parts laid out over there. Hopefully we can get this thing running and driving by Matt's. Okay, so I've got the valve covers off and I've got the rockers off. The intake's about ready to come out. Just trying to figure out how I'm gonna pull the header, because that's gonna be really tough with that bolt back there and a couple other things. I may end up having to actually lift the engine, which is usual. Anyway, so I'm gonna get the intake manifold pulled right now and then start working on a few of the accessories, get the water pump, everything pulled, the radiator, all of that stuff. So we opened the engine up and I did find the other push rod, and it's actually broken. I've seen bent push rods quite a few times, but I can't say that I've ever actually seen one broke. But anyway, got the radiator out, started pulling the accessories, and now just gonna continue forward. Hopefully the top of the piston's not busted and we can just go with the new heads. If top of the piston's junk, then I'll have to regroup. In order to get the headers out, we need to lift the engine just so we can have enough room to kind of move everything. Hopefully it's just a bent valve. I'm kind of worried. I think because the cam looks brand new, everything looks good there. I'm kind of worried that they over revved it and it may have made contact. I am going to hurry and pull the rest of the timing cover and everything off so we can look at the timing chain. But we'll know more once we get that head off and we can decide where to go from there. Well, we got the passenger side head off. Everything looks pretty good. The driver head is the one's concern. So we're lifting it off right now and we're gonna find out if I'm gonna put this engine back together or if it's catastrophic. Oh, there went all the coolant from this side.
That's heavy.
Yeah, about 70 pounds.
Oh my God. Probably.
See, I'm teaching these guys how to work on these cars. And they're learning how heavy some of this stuff is and how you smash your fingers. And oh no, the back piston's full of water now. Okay, let's take a look. So as of right now, it does not look like it kissed the piston at all. So I am happy. Now we'll go look at the head. And you can definitely see this valve is bent or stuck or there's some issue because it is not going in any further. And where that was the intake one, it was just backfiring back up through the carburetor constantly, and that's why it wasn't running at all. So, but good news is I think that the engine is usable, and actually looking at the cross hatching, I'll come back over here.
You want me to soak up that water
Looks
with this?
looks pretty good. Yeah, go ahead and use some towels. Cross hatching looks pretty good on this side. I haven't inspected the other side yet, but I'm happy with it at the moment. So timing chain has definitely been replaced. It looks brand new. It's as tight as it should be. The pistons, I'm not sure if that's factory or not, but I cleaned that one up. I don't see any like measurement for bore, but everything looks really clean. So I feel that this engine was probably rebuilt fairly close to when it got parked.
These ones?
We should have just done this in the first place, but I kind of decided it'll be better to like pull the engine out to put it all back together. Plus we can do oil pan gasket and stuff like that. So now that we're this far apart in the car, we're gonna go ahead and just pull the engine because why not? You know, we're almost out of time, so let's just do more work. It's fun that way. So the engine is out. We're gonna pull the transmission probably in a day or so when I have more tools out here. The clutch actually, from what I can tell, looks new, but unfortunately I don't have the right sockets to remove it because it's got 12 point and my set doesn't have 12 point. But now we're gonna be able to make the engine look a lot better. You know, the whole snowball effect that I always do. But I'm not gonna wait a year to throw it back together like the Super Coupe. Hopefully we'll have this back together in a week or so with the new heads. And you know, since it's already out and everything, I think I'll probably clean it all up, make it look all pretty and orange. And instead of using the Holly valve covers that I was thinking, well, we'll see. I've got something pretty cool that I can use. So anyway, yeah, just gonna finish up for the day. And so we're moving on with the Super B, and right now we're gonna pull the transmission and everything out, just because remember I couldn't get it into second or fourth, so just need to drop it, find out if it's the linkage, if it's the transmission, and what we need to do. Also, since it doesn't have a sure grip in it, I may hurry and throw a sure grip in it since, I mean, why not? So we're gonna pull the transmission, but really I just wanted to show you how clean this car is underneath. It's not even all banged up, anything. Just needs driver floor pan rust repair, and then the trunk floor because they cut it out. I'm not sure why they cut it out because the rest of the car is solid as a rock. But anyway, I'm gonna get at it. Today, first thing, I'm going to do a couple things just so that I can make the car a little bit safer for MuscleCars At The Strip. I just want to be able to drive it in and maybe drive it around a little bit during the show. But one of the things when we were out in Oregon and bought the car is we bled the brakes and noticed we couldn't get this one to bleed very well. And it was because of this crack right there that you can see in this line. So I'm going to replace all the rubber lines, which really you should do anyway because they just are old, brittle, they'll start leaking, and I've lost one before while I was driving, and it is no fun. So I'm going to replace that. I'm going to go ahead and throw some grease in the hubs. I'm not going to rebuild the brakes because I'm going to be putting disc brakes on it in the near future. But like I said, I just want to be able to drive it a little bit and make it a little bit safer. So first thing I always recommend is get some PB Blaster WD-40, spray those really good, the fittings that you're going to have to undo, and let that soak for a little bit. And another thing that makes it a lot easier when you're removing these is just cut the hose so that you can unscrew it from down here a lot easier. So I just generally use a nice pair of dikes and just get up in here and just give it a good old cut, and then just makes everything easier. And then when we put the new line on, you start by screwing this side in. Be sure to put the little copper bushing on this side, and then you'll feed this up. It's pretty easy. So, and they're not really that expensive. I think the whole set of 3, so you got 2 front ones and the 1 rear one, it's like $60, and you can change them in half an hour's time usually. Sometimes these will give you some trouble, so just be aware. Use heat if you need to, so you can get them to break loose. But pretty straightforward, pretty easy, and it adds a ton of safety to your car. Then of course you have to bleed the brakes after, but that's not really a big deal. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm also gonna throw some grease in the hub just because who knows when the last time it was done. This car's set since 1983, so even though it rolls pretty good, it doesn't hurt just to throw some grease in there. I'm not even gonna actually properly pack the bearings. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of grease in and go from there. Like I said, this is all gonna get tore apart. It's gonna get all QA1 upper and lower control arms and everything. I've already got all of that stuff. I just don't have time to do any of that before MuscleCars at the Strip with all the other projects I have going on. And there's actually even more cars than that I'm working on. So anyway, I'm gonna get at it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Took me about 3 Collective Soul songs, and got grease in there and got this line changed. One thing that I want to mention is it's easier to start this, not necessarily tighten it up, but start it while it's still loose before you put that clamp in. And then the top of this has got a hex on it that fits inside of the bracket here. So once you get that like started, get it up in there, make sure it's turned tight, put this clamp in, which is actually really easy. You just, basically I just use channel locks like this and just kind of put it like that and just push it on. Really easy, then tighten that up. Super, super simple if you just pay attention and know what to do. But anyway, so yeah, it didn't take very long at all. I was lucky though, it did come off really easy up here as well as down here at the slave cylinder, not slave cylinder. Why can I not remember what this is called all of a sudden? Anyway, there's a little cylinder inside the drum. Gosh dang it. It just went, my mind went blank. Anyway, that's what that line's connected to on the back, and that causes the spreaders to engage the brakes. So on to the next thing. Wheel cylinder. It's called a wheel cylinder. As you can see, I've been working on cleaning up and starting to assemble the engine. And there's one thing that I really, really like, and that's new hardware. It threads in easier, it's all organized and everything like this. This kit here is from Alloy Bolts, right here. And it's awesome because it's the whole engine kit, like all the externals and stuff. And it's all labeled, so you can see like valve covers, distributor, etc. Really easy, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's all stainless, and I want to say it was less than $70 shipped for all of this stuff. And I've used this as well as Rogue bolts on several projects, but I really like Alloy Bolts just because everything's organized. It's all individually bagged. labeled, and really, really straightforward and easy. And like you can see, it's a complete kit. By the way, this is not a paid promotion or anything. I just really am impressed with them. Then it's been a minute since I did some video on this. Let me go over here. I've got the shifter all rebuilt. I used a combination of 2 Competition Plus series shifters that I had, and then bought the Hurst kit. It was actually pretty easy. You just have to be very detail oriented and focus and make sure you get everything put together. And it's always best to adjust all your rods, everything on the bench so that you can find out where everything's going to be. I still need to do a few adjustments, but lots has come along there. I'm getting the transmission I'm going to use, which is the numbers matching transmission. I was going to use that one. I think I said that previously in the video, but I decided to go ahead with the numbers matching original one, and also put some different tires on those wheels that look a lot more hot rod-ish. I robbed these off of a truck that I had a long time ago, and they look way better on there than the skinny ones, and the correct center caps are also way better. And then, like I already showed you, I installed the trunk floor. We've got the fuel tank in, but we're running into an issue. It sits up too high, so I've got to figure that out. And then I also have some really cool stuff that was sent to me from Pypes and Cold Case, and I'll show you all that stuff a little bit later in the video, and kind of go over how awesome it is. Everything looks really great. I can't wait to get it all installed. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work. The transmission is basically cleaned up, and I've got the shifter and linkage all on and adjusted. It's hopefully gonna work. I've made it so that it won't shift right into the dash. I already laughed way too hard when one of my friends, Gavyn, smashed the dash. I actually don't know if I've laughed that hard ever. So I don't want him to have to do that again. And frankly, I don't want to do it again, or the first time. But anyway, so the transmission's basically ready to go back in, just waiting on parts for the engine. So I got something really awesome for the Bee. And since I want it to cool very well, I wanted an aluminum radiator. And this is a Cold Case radiator, and it is beautiful. I mean, it looks awesome. I cannot wait to actually run the car with it. Also, the link for it is down below. And if you use code SHADETREE, just one word, you can get free shipping on one of these awesome radiators. But anyway, so this is a 26-inch, and my Super Bee came from the factory with a 22. And I wanted better cooling, like I said, so I'm going to have to actually modify the core support so that the 26 will fit. And since this one's already all been butchered because it was in an accident on this corner, I don't mind cutting this because it's all going to get replaced later on. So I'm going to use this box down under it and make a template, and use that template to put it up in here, get the fitment where I want it, and then cut probably about right here, right underneath the actual top support, down the side, on both sides. That way I can make the 26-inch radiator fit in a 22-inch hole. And like I said, I know normally that would be crappy to cut up a really nice car, but as you can see, this whole corner has been all messed up, and it's all going to have to be replaced at some point anyway. Okay, so this is my awesome cardboard radiator. As you can see, I've got it cut out. I've marked it where the top is, passenger side, face in, etc. And so you can sit this in to see where you're going to have to modify things. And right off, I can see that it's actually sitting on the bent lower core support. So I'm going to have to work on that before I can do anything. Then what I'll do is I'll actually bolt it in. And you can kind of see where the indentation is right there, where it should go. But I'll bolt that in, kind of mark where I can, maybe even cut it off right here so that I can see where these go and cut accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and get working. and the radiator is bolted in. So I decided what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut right down this line. So I'll cut my template, but I don't care. I'm only going to use it once anyway. Easy peasy. Cut it out, clean it up. I'm going to have to do some straightening on some of it, but really wasn't too tough. Yeah, now we can put a 26-inch radiator in here. Heck yeah. Well, I finally got the part that I was waiting for, which was the oil pickup. Was able to complete the bottom, flip it over. Now I've got the valve train all back together. I had some other push rods, luckily, that were the same exact length. The only concern I have is these heads have been shaved 050, so I'm hoping that they're not too tight, but we'll find out. And if the 383 blows up, then the 383 blows up, unfortunately. But I have a 440 for it that I was gonna put in it. Just decided hurry and put the 383 in it for fun, but trying to make it look nice at least. And got a new pump and everything looked really good. It actually looked brand new inside, but unfortunately it doesn't have like dome pistons or anything like that, so it's probably not going to be a great runner, but it's just temporary anyway. So now I'm going to prime everything, rotate it, prime it again, rotate it, prime it, and get everything set so we can finish assembly. With any luck, it'll be sitting right there later today. So the engine is assembled, and I am hoping to get it in the car along with the transmission. That'll probably be where I end it tonight. I already know it's going to be a fight with the headers, and that's always fun. But the engine's looking good. So I'm using the old clutch and pressure plate, but as you can see, this thing is kind of rough. But again, it's just temporary. So I'm gonna go ahead and correctly resurface it. Yeah. And just to prove I was there, I put STVA on there, so Shade Tree Vintage Auto. And the engine is together, and I'm just about ready to sit it in place, hopefully without too much of a struggle, but we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun. So great news, the engine is actually sitting in place, has the headers, the spark plugs, and even the spark plug wires. I just figured it'd be kind of easier to do that while the engine was up in the air a bit. So now I've just got to get under the car, put the transmission up, put the motor mounts, do all the underneath stuff, and heck yeah, this is good progress. I'm excited. As you can see, it's back up in the air, and the engine is all in place like stated. I still need to do the motor mounts, but I have put the power steering pump in place. But most importantly, the transmission is in. And of course, you got to instantly put the pistol grip back in there, because why wouldn't you? So progress. I'd probably try to start it today, but I think I'm going to put some different gears in the back. And so I don't want to, spill transmission fluid or gear oil, whatever you want to call it, all over the floor. But lots of other things I can do. Install that awesome cold case radiator. Start looking at the exhaust that Pypes sent me. And just like with cold case, if you go check out pypesexhaust.com and you order something, put in Shade Tree, one word, down in the bottom in the order, and you get free shipping. How cool is that? Just for watching. And yeah, anyway, so I'm excited to get that all out and put in, but good progress. We have less than 2 weeks. So here is something that I'm really excited about for the Super Bee, and that's this full 3-inch stainless exhaust with X pipe. And this comes from Pypes. awesome so far. It's supposed to be a direct bolt-in. Really cool stuff. Feels really good quality. Comes with all the hardware and everything. Got the mufflers, tailpipes, all of that stuff. Check them out at pypesexhaust.com right there. And if you order there at the end, put in shade tree, one word, and I'll put all that down here below. And you get free shipping. So how cool is that? Already cool product at great price, and then free shipping on top. Can't beat that, right? Anyway, I'm gonna work on getting this all installed and show you what it looks like when it's underneath the car. And out comes the old differential. And after I clean everything up really good, in goes the new with the 410 gears. So easy horsepower. Check out this sweet Pypes exhaust, all installed. X-pipe is awesome. It was actually a pretty easy install other than my headers were bent. So I had to do a lot of work to get it to all fit up there and be level. But that's not Pypes' fault. That's me using junk used headers with this brand new exhaust. Cannot wait to hear it. As you can see, the Super B is starting to look cool. It's back on all four. Everything underneath is done except for I still need to grease the front end and the drive line. Now it's just moving on to complete the engine compartment. Gonna clean it up a little bit, hook everything up, put the cool cold case radiator and everything in there. Then we should be able to fire it up. We're really not that far off. Then of course we still need to finish cleaning and installing the interior. But the B is getting close. I cannot wait. I just finished installing the fans on the cold case radiator. As you can see, it's got a shroud, fans, everything, and the whole kit fits together flawless. It is awesome and shiny, and I cannot wait to put it in the Super B. However, I think it's probably far too nice for the Super B, but I'll take it anyway. Ooh, look at that fancy radiator in there. That cold case radiator looks awesome. It's a little bit tight, but everything does clear. I did have to do a little bit of modification to make it fit. The bottom of the shroud, I had to cut just the little corners off because it was hitting the strut bar. You can see that right there on both sides. But other than that, it fit really easy, really nice. I also did change the location of this fan. I just clocked it 180 degrees so that this wire wasn't right at the pulley. So that opened up a lot of space. But man, really an easy install. If you had the factory battery tray, you might have to do some modification, but I have a different battery tray in it, so wasn't too worried. Yeah, it's actually really cool. Looks awesome, and hopefully it really cools. So yeah, be sure to check out their page. So it is so dang close. Basically, it's just electrical left. We even have the seats all back in and mounted. And oh, I'm getting so excited. So tomorrow, hopefully, we will actually have it fired up and running, fluids, everything in. And with any luck, we will be taking it for a drive. And I cannot wait. And also, you'll notice the gold Moroso and stuff instead of that Holly one, or valve covers and everything. I love these gold Moroso parts. So cool, so vintage, and love it. I cannot wait to drive this car. And hopefully, it will be down at Matt's. Oh, yeah, we also have to replace the master cylinder. But everything else, I mean, as you can see, it's looking good. As good as a barn find can, anyway. Hey everybody, it is running. We just started it up for the first time. Actually started pretty easy. I had to adjust the fuel issue and the timing, but it's running. Still need to finish bleeding the brake master cylinder we get a gas cap, and then we can go for a drive. So, heck yes. Electric fans blowing. That awesome cold case setup. Pypes exhaust sounds awesome. Getting really close, taking it out for the first drive since it's been put back together. Got to put the hood on, add some fuel because I only had about a gallon, and then we should be able to take it for a spin, hopefully. So we took the bee out for just a couple little tuning runs to make sure everything was copacetic. We're actually gonna attempt to drive this about 30 miles now, so wish us luck. I'm hoping we can make it through town without getting pulled over because of the big crack, among other things, but this is gonna be awesome, I hope. It is sitting in an angle, but I definitely need to lower the torsion bars a little bit. Electric fans are working great. The cold case radiator is awesome and keeping it nice and cool. Really, so far it's awesome. The exhaust sounds great. The car is just super, really cool. Now we'll get some video of me driving. So the very first thing I'm gonna warn you is it's not going to be very good for conversations, so I'll try to talk to you a little bit, but mostly just enjoy. Out driving the Bee again, and how cool is this car? I know it's super ratty, beat up, but it is so much fun and awesome. Just looks really cool. Cannot wait to have it down in Vegas. A few things I need to do. There's still a power steering leak, even though we've tried to figure it out. And the front end is kind of loose. So I may hurry and just get some inner and outer tie rod ends and try to make it a little bit better. Since in the future it's getting all QA1 front suspension. I don't necessarily want to build this one. Yeah, I love this car. So we just got back from another drive, and power steering is still leaking, but I think I finally figured that problem out. The charging system has some issues, so working on that. The distributor, I didn't have it tightened enough, so I had to retime it. But man, I'm really loving this car. Well, we have the duct tape Dart 2.0 and the Fugitive loaded, ready for MuscleCars at the Strip in Las Vegas, which is in just a couple days. And then I can finally finish both of these videos, because I need to do a big smoky burnout in that one like I promised, and just do some shots with this one. And then finally the content will be there for you guys. So be sure after you watch this one to watch that one, and vice versa. Then we got our trusty Ram with the Cummins. I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of swap meet stuff down there. So hopefully I'll see you guys all there.
All right. Yep. Yeah, buddy.
As you can see, we made it back from MuscleCars at the Strip in Las Vegas. Now, we didn't take this car down for racing or anything. It was just there for fun and to just drive around while we were there. Now, you remember earlier in the video I mentioned that there was a power steering leak that we couldn't figure out. Well, we figured it out. The power steering box actually has a crack in it. So I think one of the next things we're gonna do is power steering box. And while I'm in there, I'm gonna go ahead and do the complete front suspension, thanks to QA1, probably add some disc brakes, just make it all around better in the front end. But first, I think I'm gonna send it down to my buddy Dave at Rust Bucket Restorations for the trunk floor. And if you haven't checked out Rust Bucket Restorations, be sure to go check out his channel and subscribe. He does a lot of awesome metal work, and he's getting started on his 68 Charger, so awesome Mopar content. After we get it back and get the front end done, I think we're going to take it up to Firebird Raceway like I promised in the first video, which if you haven't seen it, the link is down below. So be sure to turn on notifications and subscribe so you can check out all the content as it comes. Man, I love this car. So much fun to drive. It's a little bit of a handful right now with the broken steering box, but I cannot wait to make it better and just go drive the hell out of it. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and till next time, have a wonderful time.